Right, well, thanks very much indeed, Miguel. We are going to move on now to I just want to, often when we come to these sorts of meetings, I worry sometimes that some of the people in the room, in places like Greece, for example, or others for that matter, sometimes worry that you might be on your own. You know that movie some years ago, so this ecosystem is part of a much broader, wider ecosystem network, first of all throughout Europe. And I've leave those numbers on the screen for you. We now have some 30 ecosystems in different countries, and we're adding ecosystems very regularly. For example, next month we add Galicia in Spain. A few months later we add Stuttgart or Baden-Württemberg in Germany. And we have a number of other ecosystems to add in many other countries. So we're moving rapidly to the point of having, within 12 months, perhaps as many as 50 of these ecosystems. The reason that's important, I think, for you to know is that that means, A, you're not alone, B, that you have friends across Europe who are doing the same work as you're doing in Greece. And I know I say this every time I come to Greece, but I worry sometimes in Greece, given all of the financial crisis or whatever it is you call it these days, because every time I come here, you call it something different. We're all aware of the pressures within Greece. It's known worldwide. But the reality is that you have done a huge amount of incredible work during that crisis period. And that is of genuine interest to the rest of the world. So don't feel, I'm not here to make you feel happier, but I'm here to tell you the truth. There are people out there in our ecosystem networks who genuinely want to know the good things that have been happening in Greece, as opposed to all the other noise that happens regularly. So we're creating these along the same methodology as we've done in Greece. We have existing ecosystems, many more to be launched quite soon. And I was asked to just say a word about some of the other continents or countries we're now starting to operate in. So you'll see here that we have created the China Connected Health Alliance. I was there a few weeks back, and of course everything in China is always much bigger than anywhere else. I smiled when one person in one of the cities apologised to me, saying, look, we've only just got this pilot started. It's quite a small pilot. And I said, how many people are in the small pilot? And he said, only 100,000. So it's really quite small. I don't know of any pilot, maybe there are, in Europe that's got that scale and size. What I would say is that they are moving in exactly the same direction as Miguel outlined. They are smart in that they're going to jump ahead and not go through all of the routes that we have gone. They took that attitude when they came to telecoms. They took that attitude when they started to create one of the best railway systems in the world. So they leap ahead. They don't make the same mistakes as we have made. So they are moving very much into the digital economy. They're doing it on a vast scale. They've built the bridges, the roads, the tunnels, the airports. For the physical infrastructure, they're now creating what they call the soft or digital infrastructure. So there are huge opportunities, but also huge risks, as we know in China. So you've got to select your partners very carefully. Canada, of course, I often think about Canada as a place that's often forgotten. You know, they think they're forgotten, by the way, as well, because they seem to be dominated by their southern neighbour, as they refer to them, i.e. the United States of America. And right now, who would blame them for not wanting to talk too much to their southern neighbour, given the sort of election process that's going on there? But we have now launched the Canadian Alliance. We've established a legal entity. We've established the board, the advisory board, and we're now working towards our first of many ecosystems in Canada. The first will be in Ontario. The launch will be probably towards the end of November or the first week of December in Toronto. New York is a great member of ours for a very long time. They've achieved something that I have not seen anywhere else, and that is that they have a health information platform or exchange. They have persuaded 8.8 million New Yorkers to sign up to that platform and give their consent to their data being shared, obviously under strict security. So when Miguel looks for real examples of real things happening, New York is one of those. I was with them just last week, and they're doing a remarkable job. So essentially, what we're trying to do is to continue the good work that we've been doing, and we need you here in Greece to assist us. In order to help our human network, which is now growing very, very fast, we have created a website, of course, but now we're trying to create something which is actually no longer a flat website, as someone described it to me the other day, but this connector platform, which is now being utilised by all of our ecosystems and by many of our members. We've also created these 3 initial working groups. The first, as you can see, is a medicines optimization, which was a big topic here when you were doing your e-prescription work. The eHealth strategy group, because I remember working with the Irish and the Greeks and other people about comparing and contrasting strategy groups. And I'm pleased to say that at long last, mental health around the world is becoming a topic that people actually talk about and no longer confined to the sort of shadows. So what we're trying to do is to connect you with the rest of the world, and what we're trying to do is help that by working on certain events. I won't go through them all now, but these are the sort of events in Barcelona next month. We work closely with Miguel and his colleagues on the EIP, and we also, I'm pleased to say, in my own country of Ireland, you always have to think when you're from Ireland as to whether you say, I'm Irish, British, or whatever. We have many names depending on where you live in Ireland. But I'm pleased to say on the 1st of December, we'll have a meeting of our ecosystems from Dublin and Belfast. First one will be in Belfast, and then followed by a Dublin event. And this will bring together 2 economies, 2 health systems. And Richard in a moment and Maria will talk about what they're doing in the Republic. And there are huge opportunities for companies and organisations to join in on that. So this is all on our Global Connector platform. Please feel free to look at that. And I'll finish there by just saying we're delighted that the Greek ecosystem has survived. We're sure it will prosper. And we, as the ECHAlliance, will do all we can to assist you in making sure it prospers.